All right, today we're breaking down one of the fastest growing clothing brands on all of Instagram, and they started just 13 months ago. And in 13 months, they have gotten over 600,000 followers and over 500 million views. And this is no paid ads, this is no influencers, this is no big company behind it. These are just couple of guys who figured out social and are using it to their absolute advantage. So the Wants and Needs brand is technically a clothing brand. That's what they sell. They sell clothing. But realistically, they operate like a media company. They are approaching their business as, how can we get the most attention on our product? Because there's a lot of clothing brands that would do many things to get the attention that these guys are getting. So I want to dive into their content pillars. And what do I mean by a content pillar? A content pillar is really just a subject of content, like a bucket of content, a certain type of content. For example, a street interview that we see a lot of time on social, that is a content pillar. Or recipe videos, those are content pillars. So I looked through their page, I checked out some of their stuff, and I really looked into it and kind of broke down some of their buckets of content or their content pillars. So the first one I want to talk about is they make content, and this is very, very smart. They make content around viral videos. So what do I mean? They take videos that were already viral in the world and they add their spin to it. Why is this so smart? Because something already proved itself in the market. This video that they used already was posted in the world and it already did well. So for them to start there and build on top of that allows them to already use something that was viral and attempt to build onto it. So taking something that's successful and build onto it. For example, let's take a look at this video. And all the videos we're looking at today has over 1 million views, some to 7-8 million views, so everything over 1 million views. So this first one is just a unique angle that I don't see many people approaching social this way. They found their way to stand out, but let's watch it. Like, so far you might be thinking, like, what does this have to do with a clothing brand? And it doesn't so far. It doesn't. This is just a video they found online that got millions of views and they wanted to build on it. So they took the exact video and just added their ending. Which really, some might look at this as stupid, and yeah, call it stupid, call it what you want, but it got millions and millions of views. But what they did, again, I'll keep saying it, they took a video that already was viral, but instead of giving them a payoff in the end, because I'm sure this video, this actual viral video, had a payoff in the end. Whether this little race car landed on something or went somewhere, it had an ending, but they changed the ending to actually advertise their product, and that is called a rug pull. And essentially, a rug pull is just leading someone down a path, in terms of content, leading someone down a certain storyline, and once they're at the end, pulling the rug out from under them and showing them something they didn't expect at all. Leading them into a path and then completely turning it last second, making people feel like, oh, they got me. Oh, they tricked me. And not necessarily in a bad way. I mean, it can be used in a bad way. But for the most part, this was used in a comedic way. So if people are sitting here really invested in this racetrack type video, but in the end, they were tricked or fooled, actually, it's an ad for our product. And the reaction you get isn't necessarily angry or annoyed. It's actually like, they got me. These guys got me. So this is one example of a trending video that they were able to use to their advantage. In the end, making it an ad for their product. All they did was change the end. Simple, but very, very smart. A rug pull is going to be a recurring topic because they do this in essentially all of their content. Okay, so that is the first of the trending videos content pillar. Another one I want to look at is this one. POV, the greatest transition ever. So this hook is this person putting a phone on a bus or some sort of vehicle, and then it switches and it is actually, he just stole the hook. So that was a trending hook that he pulled from a trending video, and he added his spin to it. And as you see, he's riding a skateboard, he's doing something, raising curiosity. What is this guy doing? Ends in a rug pull, which is really just an ad. So it starts as, oh, what is this guy gonna do? He put this phone on this bus. Where's this bus going? People not knowing what's gonna happen, intrigued. This video made them intrigued, made them curious on how it's gonna end. But again, towards the end, that he's doing something, dropping his bag, dropping all this stuff. As he's doing something, he actually throws his clothes on. Gotcha, it's an ad. You weren't expecting it. Another rug pull. But again, in this content, leveraging that viral hook. This hook that they took, I guarantee wherever they found it, it was a viral hook that someone posted and used, and they saw, wait, this video has millions of views. Let's take this hook because guess what? It's already proven. I want to take another look at one more of these trending video hooks. Okay, this one here is a cartoon. I don't know if it's a cartoon. It looks kind of cartoon. And then he kind of jokes about it. Oh, like they're exaggerating. Like, oh, jump really far over the banana. Haha. Cone. Dodge the cone. Gets tripped. And into, again, another ad. Now, they just took this trending video, which I'm sure people were making fun of already. There is this style that we've seen in the world by that silent Italian guy. He kind of made this popular of making fun of people just by reenacting what they're doing and showing that it makes no sense. So they were leaning into two things as well. This trending style, this trending video that I'm sure people were making fun of, like this woman is trying to squeeze past something she didn't have to squeeze past. They realizing, oh, people also agree with this, and they would do their own reenactment of things. So here first, clearing the 7-foot thing, ducking when he didn't have to duck, the banana peel jumping when he didn't have to jump, the cone dodging it, he didn't have to dodge it. In the end, people were saying, oh, haha, what is he gonna do next? Guess what he does next? He advertises his clothing brand, another gotcha. So far, every video had these gotcha moments, and that is what I want to hone in on because that is what is building their brand. That is the punchline of all of their videos, and they have built an audience of people saying, oh, this is the guy that keeps getting me. Oh, you got me again. Oh, you got me again. Oh, you got me again. Like, the same people keep getting tricked and eventually are recognizing him, eventually recognizing this brand, and that is how they build brand awareness. At first, it's like, oh, got me. Oh, got me again, and eventually you're going to be aware of them, and now you're aware of this brand and their product. Very smart. So that first content pillar is taking trending videos and making it their own, using it to their advantage to go viral for themselves. The next content pillar I want to hit on is that they do challenges, different types of challenges that, guess what, end in that rug pull. But one thing you have to see, like when you scroll past through their page, it may seem random, like randomly really good videos, but it's not. It's much more calculated than it seems. When they find something that works, they redo that in different ways and making those content pillars. And yes, they have videos where they try other things, but that doesn't make it a content pillar unless they keep redoing it because it's doing so well. So this content pillar is challenges, really. This first one here is the treadmill challenge. And it seems a silly challenge. They're dodging these tools. People watch. This is like engagement bait. Like people watch this like, oh, is he going to fall? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then it's the other guy's turn. I'm sure you guys see where this is going at this point. But it's an engaging visual. People would say, what's going on here? Like, are they going to fall? And then eventually, psych, ad. Again, they found this, their branding is so specific to them, even though these are different types of videos, is that ending. Oh, you didn't expect it. Here you go. Gotcha. So that is one of their challenges. Another one of their challenge videos here, don't drop the broom challenge. Another like visually pleasing challenge. Like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. How many levels would they go to? Content like this is all over the internet, these challenges type videos, and they take that engaging style and they make it specifically to promote their product. See, level 4. Again, this is no secret where it's going. Level 5, he misses. Psych. Another ad, and it's very well done. Millions and millions of views of that as well. And this is their second type of content pillar where they do these challenges and then they hit you with the rug pull. So very unexpected. And they're changing content pillars. They're changing subjects. It forces people to, not be sure if it's them or not all the time. Like, because of course you see the same type of content by the same people, you catch on quicker. But they almost approach it as they don't want people to know it's them right away. They want it to seem like it's just another account making another video, but they're hitting the same audience over and over again with this style. And then that, like I said before, is how they build their brand awareness. And going on to these fake outs, the last content pillar I want to talk about is their UGC type of content. Their UGC type of content, which is basically, it's fake UGC, which it's content that's made to look like it's from a random person, not from a creator. So it's made to feel like it's from a random person. That's why it's UGC, which means user generated content. And they have found a lot of success in this world of fake UGC, and it may be their most popular content pillar because this is the most views I've saw. These are upwards of 5 million, I think, all of these videos. So this first one, very well done. It was a trend at one point, but some idiot backed into my Bugatti, and this guy backs into the Bugatti, and then he does this. People are gonna say, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. Builds a curiosity. Psych. Got you again. Don't have to talk about this ending anymore. It is how they end all their videos, but really want to pay attention to is that front. They basically say, okay, we're going to end our videos like this every time. That's the punchline all the time. How do we get people to stay into that point? That's their game. How do we get people to stay until the point of our punchline? And that is why they have so much success with this content pillar as well. It drives so much curiosity. Someone backed into your Bugatti, like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? How much they're going to cost? Is this guy going to get mad? Draws curiosity. The next one, and this one is so good. This format is so good. It's like the dash cam style. And this, they take a viral dash cam video from the top, and then they put their own video on the bottom so it looks like it's their video. Haha. Very simple, but very smart. And this one here says, thank God I started recording on my phone. So his video up top is not their video. It's not their video. They got this from the internet. And on the bottom, he makes his own, then switches it to his own point of view. He said, stop, stop. He's acting like he's running over there. Guess what happens? This almost feels like a cheat code or a hack to get engagement. This style. But this is a really smart one, and I for a couple of my clients, this car dash cam style, I might take this because it is very unexpected. It seems so real that people, I got caught with this. How I found this brand, I got caught with this quite a few times. This is just a brilliant format, and I have another one. I think this one got 10 million views. This says, again, same thing. Thank God I started recording on my phone. That top video is not their video. That top video is a video from the internet that went viral before. It is not their content. They're acting like they're in the situation, which is just very smart. So they're acting like they're mad. They're getting out the car, checking the damage on the psych. It's their product again. We don't have to get into that. But hey, freaking smart as heck. Smart as heck. Like I said, they have over 500 million views and they have over 600,000 followers on Instagram. The way they're approaching social is just so smart. It's so unique that they found their own lane. Not that everyone's doing exactly like this, but they found a way to stand out against a lot of brands out there. They said, okay, how can we be different? What can we make on social to stand out? And they have figured that out with what they have. This is the definition of like doing what you can with what you have. They probably don't have a lot of resources in terms of like production budget and all that sort of thing, but they make it work, and they make it work very well, outperforming some of the biggest brands in the world on social. And that is, there's no time in history where a company can approach it like this. If this was 50 years ago, it cannot do what these guys are doing at all. Social is a tool that we can actually gain attention in an unproportionate manner. Like, you can't compete with Coca-Cola on billboard ads. You absolutely cannot. But what you can compete on with Coca-Cola on social, believe it or not, because you can get 10 million views on a video. It doesn't matter who you are. If you make a great video, you can get 10 million views. Not all Coca-Cola's videos do that. You can outperform bigger brands by using strategy, not just money. And these guys are the tippy top of that. They are the best example of that I've seen in a long time. And their style alone like leans into what the social platforms want. Watch time is obviously high. Rewatches is going to be high because, oh, I wasn't expecting this at all. How did they get me? Shares is going to be high to trick their friends. Comments, they're very engaged. Like, their style is very optimized for the platform, even on top of just the engagement they're getting alone from the creative ideas. And like, we think a lot on social, and I want to like double tap into these content pillars. When you find a content pillar, you want to keep building in that same world because you don't always want to think of a new way to do something, a new way to do something, a new way to do something. It can get really hard to keep up in that way. So once you find something that really, really works, doing more of that in different ways allows you to kind of forecast the next few weeks, the next few months. So you really want to try content, and what works, make it into a pillar. Try 15 different ideas. If something works 3 or 4 times, you should, wait a second, this should be a pillar, and now you have a pillar. And that's how I personally approach all my clients on social, is that you want to build these pillars and then keep stacking on what works. And now they're up to tens of millions of views on some of their content pillars and strategies by reusing and revamping what works. If you scroll really back on their page at the beginning, it looked very, very different because they were testing things. They were trying things until they found what worked. And once they found what worked, they kept on it. They kept on it, kept on it. And a lot of times people ask about posting frequency or time of day to post. These guys post 2 to 3 videos per week, but they really make sure it's quality video in terms of like, do they think it's a strong idea? From what I can tell, at least, unless they like delete content, which I don't think is the case, but you can never be sure. But they make sure their content is quality. It is up to their standards of their nature, of their content pillars. So they post 2 or 3 times a week, and time of day of posting. I know people ask that a lot. I don't want to get into the time of posting because like good content will rise to the top. Post your content when you want. I have my clients post 10 to 11 o'clock or sometimes 3 or 4 in the afternoon. See what works for your audience, but for the most part, there's no set time of day to post. And then like as a brand, their bio is take action and the back of their sweatsuits is take action. And they really stand for that in the sense of like they are showing what they want to represent. Like they are taking action, and through them, taking action as in like they're gaining all this attention online. They're taking action and doing something that not a lot of people can do. They represent their brand by their action. They are showing taking action instead of just saying it. So I really like that about their brand. Like at first I read their bio, like take action, like how is this coming through? And it's coming through quite literally in what they do, the content they do. They are taking action and getting your attention in that sense. And then they are using, classic methods like urgency, like limited time drops, and they are not always in stock. They are quite often out of stock. So they always keep the demand higher than the supply. So for example, if like 100 people want their sweater, I'm using a low number on purpose. If 100 people want their sweater, they're only giving the first 20 so that 80 people still really want their sweater, and as they don't get it, they want it more and more and more. So they do that extraordinarily well. And then their funnel from their content to their product, it is extraordinarily simple. Like people try to hone in and really focus on the funnel and trying to optimize in different ways. Theirs is simple. Get the content. Their call to action is at the end of every video. The link is in their bio to their product. You click the link and you see the product. Simple as can be. A funnel that is so self-explanatory, and it just proves that like worry about the big things. The content and the views and the attention you get is the big thing. A lot of time I see people trying to optimize for things that aren't going to move the needle, like their funnel, making sure they click here, 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 and get to the add to cart and get to the purchase. But if you focus on the content more than anything else first and getting the attention, your funnel could be as simple as possible to get the sale. It starts with the engagement. It starts with the content. That is what the most important thing is, and that is what you should be spending most of your time on. Okay, so this is the Wants and Needs brand who are doing an absolutely great job. I watch these guys closely, and I'm very curious to see what they do over the next few years because they are a young company, a young brand, just over a year, and they are doing social extraordinarily well. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to do things like this every single week, and until next time.